Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Greetings, America. If you are hearing this, chances are you still have power following the ice storm of January 2026. Well, or you are listening sometime in the future. In that case, this podcast is like a time capsule of wise stupidity served up with a side of red beans and rice. You know, the good kind. With the good sausage. So sit back, thaw out, and enjoy as much of this as you can stand. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
1.
Woohoo!
America, as you put that third jacket on.
Bruh.
We are back, and you are welcome.
You're welcome. Probably cold.
Everybody, it's cold. Everybody, how are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Those of you with the video on, I look like I'm dressed like a snowman today. I'm like or maybe I'm Elsa the Good Witch. What's that? Just realized
look,
that.
So, we don't typically have the air on upstairs except when I come up here to do the podcast. So when I came up, I fully had my hat on because I was cold.
There you go. I admire the fact that you can put on a ski cap like that and not mess up anything doing it, Juan. It just slides on and slides off so easily.
That's right.
I slap one of those on, I take it off, and I look like
static electricity all over the place.
I've been electrocuted.
Yep. No electricity flowing through his head.
Yeah. So this is actually an undershirt to, I don't know what the heck with this, but yeah, it's layered. If those of you, so I'm hoping friends and family and all over America that are checking in with us. We hope you guys made it through. Snow. It wasn't snowpocalypse, although I think some places got a lot of snow.
I mean, not here. It was nothing here. I mean, it's cold.
Right, but it's the ice. Always the ice. Always the ice. We were very fortunate.
Here, but by the time it got that cold, it was already windy. Right. So the wind was blowing all the rain off. I didn't even have ice on my car this morning when I went outside.
Okay. Well, you got it. We got it night before. Was it last night? Man, things blur.
I think it might be colder tomorrow here.
Right. But the ice issue for us was Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night, which was today's Monday. By the way,
Monday.
We're time stamping this. We don't normally do these in the daytime, but there were NFL games to watch yesterday, and still doing some stuff. So anyway, it was, we were fortunate in Houston. We got pretty bone chilling cold, and it got cold here last night, but that ice line was right on us. Didn't quite, because those of you in South Louisiana, we know got a big South Louisiana following, probably have not experienced ice like last year was snow, right? And everybody.
Yeah, we've had ice here. I mean, you go further. I'm in Baton Rouge, so there's a lot.
Right.
You can go a lot farther south. We've had it here, but typically by noon it's done.
Right. But so like last year, was it last year? The snowpocalypse.
Last year, right about a year ago.
And everybody's talking about, oh man, we 8, 9, 10 inches of snow. You take that any day of the week over a quarter inch of ice.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't know that, man, a long, long time ago when I was a much younger man and we moved up to Georgia, and I'm living in the foothills of the Northeast Georgia mountains there in Cornelia. It's actually Cornelia, but they always drop the R. Cornelia, Georgia. And the first winter we were there, I remember it got to 3 degrees. It was, that's just not fun. But, and I remember they said there was an ice, and this was before we were all stuck on the internet. This is before we were Googling stuff. This was all, and they just warned about this ice storm coming. And I thought that sounded kind of cool. Like to me, an ice storm seemed, it wasn't as bad as a snowstorm, right? I mean, because
hey, when you're from South Louisiana, it's close in your mind. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, because I was thinking, well, it's only because the temperatures were only going to be maybe 30, 31, 28, so it wasn't bone chilling cold. So I'm thinking, that's probably better. Wrong. Wrong.
Yeah, you do some falling down and some ice.
Oh, and I lived on a place called Tower Mountain, and it's still. I was there a few months ago visiting with some folks, but a lot of trees. It butts up on a national forest. I mean, it's a beautiful area. I love it. Looked like a bomb. Bombs, multiple bombs were dropped on that. I mean,
Well, it was
trees
showing. I
down.
saw some stuff where trees will explode, basically not explode, but just like burst in the middle.
I saw that. I don't know. That's not the only thing bursting in Minnesota, but I think it was Minnesota that I saw. I mean, right up there. I guess button up on Canada, but they showed a warning. This was like last week. You might have seen the same thing where they were warning about the dangers of exploding trees.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's I don't know. Yesterday, I did get going down a rabbit hole of people sliding on ice videos, which was hilarious.
click one, you get to see them all. That's how the
Right.
world works now.
And it reminded me, this is, I don't know, God, back in the 90s, I was working this place, and this guy that I really didn't like, and nobody really liked him, but it was like a very icy morning like this, and the cooling tower on the HVAC unit of the building was overflowing. So I don't know why they sent me and him out there like we knew what we were doing.
So wait. Okay. So you and a guy that nobody liked, where were you working?
I was working for United Way.
Oh, okay. Ah, all right. So,
So we
and
go out there, and that dude was like from Colorado or something, so he should have known better. But he stepped on that ice, and it was just like all those videos that I was watching yesterday, where it's like you're running in place, you're sliding, you're doing every contorted move that your body is not designed to do, and then bam, just goes down.
that's actually it's cruel that because I've had that happen once or twice. I've been fortunate. I don't think I've ever taken a very, very hard spill like that. But boy, when you catch, and it's hard to describe, when you catch ice, you just slip it. You just
Well, right,
lose.
because you're trying to grip, you don't know what to do.
Well, your body just immediately starts trying to balance itself, right? That's there's no thinking involved. Your body just, okay, my my weight has shifted, so I'm going to throw my arm a certain way, and then that changes the whatever, and then heaven help you if your second foot goes on the ice.
Right.
And so I guess what we're saying, y'all, if you're dealing with ice, just lay down. Just save yourself the trouble. Just get on all fours and just crawl to wherever you're going.
That could be good advice in multiple places. If you're dealing with ice, just crawl away.
Yeah. Well, yeah. How long did it take to get into the we still want to circle back, talk about the freezing stuff before we touch on, I don't know, man. 40 are we going to end up with 49 states? We might have to annex somebody else if
Well,
Minnesota.
they could go to Canada. That's fine.
Well, maybe. I don't know if Minnesota, it's touching. I saw somebody the other day they were making the argument, hey, how about we do a swap? We'll take Ontario.
Yeah,
You,
that
you
sounds
guys,
fair.
you guys take Canada.
Or we could
I
throw it
mean,
in with the
I'm sorry,
Greenland
take
deal.
Minnesota.
We could throw it in with Greenland.
Look, man. All right, we're gonna circle. We all going to get all that.
All right.
But so I have been the last, and my wife laughs at me. I think she appreciates it. She tells me every now and then she appreciates it. But I think she gets a little bit encouragement of kind of making fun of how prepped I get, how man, days before an event, she'll catch me and I'll
Dude,
be
I tell people I was planning on eating whether the weather got bad or not.
no. I'm not talking about stocking up on food. I mean, yeah, we got food and you might grab a few extra things. I'm not worried about that. I'm just like, all right, if we lose power, I've talked about this before. Years ago, I wanted to put a full whole house generator on
Yeah.
the house I'm in, and because of the way my house sits, because of the corner it's on, because of where the gas lines are, it's just, I mean, it'd be an act of Congress. So that's just not a real viable option. So I do have portable generator, but look, if people say, oh, you got a generator. Yeah, but man, there's a difference between you got a whole house out there that just kicks on by itself and runs everything. And, my mom yesterday called me out of the blue in Thibodeau, apparently there's I guess a power pole or something broke, and there was 30 something houses, including going down Audubon and stuff that had the power was out. But she called me because I guess my sister popped in and said, "Mom, your generator's running." And they didn't know. They were in the house. They had no idea.
Does she have the full house
Yeah,
generator?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They had no idea. I'm like, well, there you go. Glad we got it just for that. There you go. If you get to spend on a cold day, at least a few hours, you had power. But I've got a portable propane.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my wife would make fun of me because she just see me standing in the yard or standing in the driveway or when I'm trying to cover plants and run, because we've got all these tropical kind of things that, man, it takes forever to get them looking good and they finally get mature.
Mm-hmm.
And all it takes is one good cold snap and your yard is down to, I know
Nothing.
these are first world problems. I get it. But so you just see me just standing out in the yard, just looking around, say, what are you doing? And I'm thinking,
Thinking, trying to figure out what I'm putting where.
and my thing is, and then I got to, prep it, pre-stage it. Because guess what? If the power goes out, it doesn't give you a big warning. And you know what I can't have? I can't have the generator, I guess I could, in the garage,
Yeah. You're
right?
not
Where,
supposed to.
where the power's off. So I got to open that door. I got to roll
Yeah.
it out, probably in icy conditions. So no, I got to have it around the house. I got to have all the extension cords ready to go. I got to, and I she doesn't really tease me too much about it, but she gives me grief about, you stress about that stuff too much. And I feel like
Well,
the Jack Nicholson character in A Few Good
in The
Men.
Shining.
No, in A Few Good Men. You
Oh.
sleep under the blanket of warmth I provide
What I create.
and question the manner in which I do it. Of course, he ended up in
But
jail, so it didn't work out too well for
yeah,
him.
well, I don't do a lot because I don't have a lot of plants, so it's like I don't care. I did notice this morning how the weeds in my yard are thriving.
Can't kill a
Nothing will kill
weed.
that.
Can't kill a weed,
Um,
bro. Bad grass. Bad grass. You
no,
can't kill bad grass.
mm-mm. But so my daughter, they couldn't have swim practice today because everything on campus is closed, so they had it yesterday. But the reason they couldn't have it today is because the pool is in the rec center and the rec is closed, but they have to have a lifeguard there, which is a student employee.
Oh,
So no lifeguard, no practice.
I'll be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. But somebody did. I guess my guess is college pranks. She texted us last night that the fire alarm was going off in her dorm.
But of course. But
Yeah,
welcome to college. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I remember that rec, that big UH has a huge rec center.
Hmm.
That was the one thing my son religiously went to.
No, right there.
Yeah. Classes, I think, sort of kind of. He was good, but boy, he was playing ball in that rec center every
That's cool. They got a little bar and burger joint right across the street from it.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's yeah, no, I like most things about UH. I don't like the way it's
Mhm.
run. It's run by
Yeah.
maniacs, but that's just big universities in general,
Hmm.
right? They're all run by maniacs. Did you drip water from your faucets last night or the
I
night
did
before?
not. Last night when we were in bed, Joey asked me, "Should I go turn the faucet on?" And I said, "No, I'm not doing that. Already
I
in bed."
I do it. I do it here, man. I mean, I'm like I said, because I've been up in my attic more than you can just take stairs up into my attic, and
Yeah.
I know I got some exposed pipes up there, right? That's just I don't know if they were exposed when the house was originally built, but over the year, and I guess when they first put the house in there, and you had the insulation, right? So they had pipes that run, and that's the other thing about
Yeah.
it's Texas, y'all. We all have plumbing in our attics. That's
Yeah.
that's
See, I don't have any attic, but we didn't get below freezing till into the evening, and I knew by mid morning we'd be okay.
Yeah, we got so I'm doing all the research on that, and which faucet you keep open, and do you keep them all open, relieve the pressure on. Apparently,
Well,
y'all,
I said my thought was somebody's gonna get up during the night to pee, and you'll flush the toilet, and then that'll run the water.
somebody meaning you. Yeah,
Probably so.
yeah.
A couple times.
I woke up a couple times last night, so I had water running in a few areas, and that's one of those things. I woke up at 3 o'clock, I guess, in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock, and I know it's a hard freeze going on, but I got water running, and I can hear. And then every now and then I'd hear just a hard to describe, just it almost sounded like it was a noise that was coming from outside. It was like a just like a weird noise, you know.
Wind?
And I'm thinking, no, 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 no. I was just like, and I thought, oh man, I hope that's not, like a central heater. I'm hoping it's not anything mechanical in my house that's giving me
Yeah.
so I'm up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm walking around the house, and I mean, this isn't a mansion, but it's not a small house. Um, and I'm walking through rooms, and I don't hear it here. I kind of hear it here.
Yeah, tracking down a sound is tough.
Let me get up in the attic. I get up in the attic. And I don't say get up in the attic. I mean, literally from the second floor here, you open a door and you can just take
Right.
stairs. Cold as all get out up there. But that's where the hot water heaters are. And I got to, get up there. Don't hear it. Come back down. Dang it, I hear it. I go outside, bro. I'm thinking, okay, this must be. It even sounded like my wife in the morning said, it sounds like somebody's using equipment outside. Go outside. Dude, after all of this, and I just said, and I went back to sleep thinking, well, I don't know what that noise is, but it was one of the freaking faucets. One of the faucets I turned on,
Just
apparently in my wife's laboratory. Not that she has any blame for it, but it was in her laboratory. Apparently, I found just the perfect mix of hot and cold water with the exact type of small stream that must have created enough. I don't know why it was making the pipes make noise, but and you talk about feel stupid after, like, man, I'm in the attic of my house at almost 4 o'clock in the morning.
no, I get it, man. Because if you, first of all, if you're like me, then I'm gonna lay in bed and I'm gonna listen to that noise, and I'm not gonna fall asleep because I'm trying to. Am I hearing it? Am I not hearing it? Am I hearing it? Am I not hearing it? Then you get up and you go, can't find it, and then you go back down.
And what you don't want it to be is like, oh man, is this,
Right.
I'm gonna have water coming through the ceiling, or what the deal is. So, so there, those of you that are watching this that are going to be going through, hey, if check your faucets first. If you hear weird noises, just see if it's just something you can just shut off or turn on. And
Well, that's in the house we used to live in, which had, I promise you, we must have had at least a dozen smoke detectors, and some that were tied to the security system, some that were just there. And it was, the batteries never go bad during the day. They
oh
only
no,
go bad at night.
oh no, I think they're designed for
And
that.
I've never been the type to, I'll just change all the batteries at once because I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But so you hear it, and it's like what you were doing. It's like, okay, wait, is it upstairs? Let me go upstairs. I think it's this one. Nope, it's not that one. Then you got to wait another minute. And then, oh, wait, maybe it's downstairs. And so you spend 3 hours walking around your house trying to find it.
And it beeps about every 30 seconds,
I think about every minute to
okay.
start.
Okay. So what you have to do is you have to go stand we've all done this, guys.
Yeah.
You go stand under the alarm or an alarm and you wait. Dang, it's not this one.
Yeah.
Or you know what's even worse is when you're not really paying attention because you're getting bored and you're just kind of like, and then it beeps and you're not really sure if it was the one. Especially if it was right on top of you, right? So, oh yeah, no, I don't do that. I like you, I don't change them all at the same time. The only time I will do that is if ever I got to get on, like we have a vaulted ceiling game room upstairs, and changing the light on that fixture requires big time
Effort.
ladder, like a ladder, and where okay. So if I got to change a bulb, I change all the bulbs. Because, like if one went out, chances are you got, I always say you should do that. I think about that when I'm in churches and stuff, and I look up and I see these, one or two light bulbs out, and man, these things are 40 feet high. You're thinking, they ain't sending one, they got to get a crew out here and scaffolding.
Yeah, unless you got like a scissor lift or something.
A what?
A scissor lift. Where's the thing that's like X's, it just goes up like a lift?
I don't have one of those. I don't.
My church does.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, I don't know I don't even know how they do that at ours. What was it on that? It was church. Gosh darn it. Oh, that wasn't really church. I guess it happened the night before. I had some excitement here and down my street. on Saturday night as we all prepared for ice apocalypse, and we heard, I forget what happened. We saw lights go by or heard a noise like a fire truck, and then my wife said, she opened the front door and it was cold as all get out, and the next street over behind us, and she said, I think somebody's house is on fire, and I'm like, first of all, that doesn't happen that often. I know. Overall scheme of things,
No.
okay, every day, and one of our very, very good friends had their house burned to the ground last year. So it happens. Okay, it happens. But I'm like, the other thing is, I don't know when this policy kicked in, but it definitely, where I live here in Sugar Land, if anybody gets called for any kind of medical emergency, if you get called for, you need an ambulance or something, there's a fire truck going. That's just
Right. They're typically the literal first responder.
okay. So she got the front door open and I can see lights, and she's saying, I think that house is on fire. And here's where you get into an argument that you should be in an argument, and we're kind of both right. But I'm looking at it saying, no, those are the lights from those are the fire truck lights.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think that house is on fire. I'm like, I maybe, but that's what you're seeing flashing. That's not a fire flashing. That's lights. Well, we were both right. The house was on fire. But it was the lights that.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Now
she felt good about yourselves.
Now she was flat out ready not to believe me, and was ready to until the next day. We saw that the fire apparently thankfully never pierced the ceiling. It never came through the roof, but I could see the smoke when we went there. Here's the other thing. Shout out to Sugar Land, Texas, dude. There were 7 fire trucks on our street, and I think 2 ambulances.
I've always said, if you better be sure you want people to come if you dial a 911.
Man.
Because they coming. This is one time the fire alarm itself was part of my security system was going off in the attic. And I went in and didn't see anything. Looked around, and it's annoyingly loud. I couldn't get it to stop. And so I called the actual fire department, and I said, I'm 99.99% sure this is just a glitch in the system, but if y'all could send one person to come check.
Oh, don't do that.
I'd appreciate it.
One person?
But they all came.
Did they send one person?
They sent about 4 or 5 vehicles, and you got all with sirens blazing.
And part of me, and again, I saw this, and they were pulling out the ladders and getting up on top, and so kudos to them. But I'm telling you, I'm telling cold. It was everybody in there, but part of me, and man, don't get me wrong, this is not being said in a negative way at all, because I just said, man, kudos to these guys, love them, love them, love them. Part of me is like, it was a perfect timing because it was early enough in the evening. It was probably maybe, it'd been dark for maybe an hour or two, so it wasn't that late. And apparently there wasn't a lot going on in Sugar Land that evening. And bro, they all got the opportunity to let's go.
Yeah, you're sitting around, and the good days when
it was a legit fire. It wasn't like it wasn't a false alarm.
Nothing is a good day, but that's got to be a long day.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only wash that truck so many times.
Yeah. Well, or work out. That's why we gotta. Yeah. That's what those firemen do, man. God love them. They eat well. They work out. And, that's every firehouse you go to. They got a gym, or depending how fancy it is. And but I swear to you, I didn't do a person by person count, but there were 40 minimum, 40 firemen minimum. Walking around. Now, some of them may have been first responders. I don't know, but they all had the same kind of uniforms on.
There are 40 people there.
But what was it on that? Oh, the other thing was, and it's a shame, I kind of made jokes about it after we knew everybody was fine and there was nobody harmed or anything. That it was an interesting way to have a get to know your neighbor meeting. I met new neighbors, man, like all up and down the street.
Come out, bro.
Yeah, everybody's like, you live here? Where you? I literally, and then, a couple of the old neighbors because exactly everybody, nothing to bring a neighborhood more together than somebody's got, thankfully not flames, but smoke coming out of their house.
That, dude, when, about a year and a half ago and had that drug bust right across the street from me. Yeah, we stood outside, 10, 12 o'clock at night for 2 hours.
in the hood where Juan lives. So hey, kudos to the fire department for being out here, and just hoping that the as we thought. Yeah, that's the other thing was people with frozen pipes. That sucks, man. I got some friends that up in Georgia that I've been texting with today, and they got hit, like the mountain I used to live on got hit pretty hard, that
Yeah.
whole area. And what makes things more complicated is power goes out, everything's frozen, and then when it thaws is when you find out you got busted pipes everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, just not a
Right. I've never had busted pipe of any sort.
I
I
mean,
just
knock
can't
wood, me neither.
imagine.
Yeah. Me neither. But boy, I tell you, enough to make you paranoid. Especially when you know the threat of having a pipe busted in a wall. Oh
Yeah.
man, right? That's like a guy thing, right? You sort of got like going down the list of things that give you the pit in the stomach, the frissons. You got a broken pipe in the wall. Oh
Yeah. That ain't cheap.
no, nothing is. My brother-in-law shared that with me the other day. That's another comparison thing. He starts telling me the story about, yeah, I'd have our main sewer line, repaired. And I'm like, what? We started talking. And he started talking about what was happening, and he'd run the snake in there and da 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 da. And I'm like, the older you get, you have it all. And as soon as he started saying, "Oh, bro, you got some tree roots in your thing," yeah, that's what it was. And $4,000 later, $4,000 he had to pay to get his line. And of course, you got to be the guy thing. I had to tell him, well, dude, you know what? 10 years ago, I had to pay six,
Yeah.
but they had to go under my house. See, that's you talk about cringe. Yeah, you got a broken pipe pipe or sewer under your house.
Well, I don't know. I called today, so I'm getting a new knee and
A new what?
knee.
You're getting a new knee.
Yeah, give me a brand new one. I'm tired of this one. So,
Juan just dropping stuff out there. Like,
so I call it. Hey, I'm just kind of curious. I got insurance and stuff, but I really never discussed how much this was going to cost me. So
how much is a new knee going to cost you?
I don't know. They didn't call me back yet. Probably a lot.
Can you bargain with them?
Oh, well, they said you're probably going to need another one at some point. I said, well, could I get a deal on two right now?
So they think they're going to replace both your knees?
No, I'm not doing that. No, the other one's not that bad. One is just like, bone on bone.
I've had that forever, man. So what's it get to the point of I'm coming up the stairs sometimes, and if you told me that somebody took a nail and drove a nail
Yeah,
into
so
my
it's like,
kneecap,
it's just because it's pretty exhausting when it gets this bad.
okay.
Because it's like it gets inflamed and all your body is trying to fight that. And but I've had multiple shots in it.
Well,
There's just no place left. Go ahead and laugh at me.
no, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just saying, hey guys, you can tag two old dudes in a
Uh-huh.
podcast. Hey, that's a first,
Talking
huh?
about inflammation.
We're talking about inflammation and aches and pains and broken pipes in the wall, and now Juan's
Yeah.
talking about changing a body part, or not
Yeah.
changing. I guess is it changing a body part?
It is because it's a metal thing they put in there. And so they basically, I don't think it's as dramatic as it used to be, but I watched videos on it and they shave like your femur bone and then whatever the bone is under your knee.
Hang on,
And
give me a minute. Give me a minute to have the frissons. Hang on.
but they shave it to where it fits specifically to the apparatus that they're putting in.
Correct. Okay.
And then it's got like a metal ball joint on it. And so it will, potentially set off the metal detector in an airport.
Technically, it makes you bionic.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, is that from your past taekwondo battles? I mean, did they
I just have arthritis. I don't know that, or I'm old, fat, and
joys of getting old, huh?
yeah,
Again, that's always been my line. That's the blessing and the challenge of getting old. You get
hmm
old. The older
yeah,
if you live long enough, y'all, you get everything.
right,
You get everything. Everything's gonna break. Physics like in your house, in your car, right? Everything eventually breaks. Same thing with your body, bro. You know,
Well, it's like so some of the stuff, and again, I work with all young people, like
You
really young.
do. You work with
Most of them,
children compared to
most of them are in their 20s,
old guy
and
like you.
so they laugh because they said, "Well, what are you going to be on crutches?" And I said, "No, I think you got to be like you a walker for a while." And that they found hilarious that I
They
would be
found a
using,
walker hilarious.
yeah, that I would be using a walker.
Du-
Uh,
Dude,
and
I've seen everything in action, including with my mom.
yeah,
Give me a walker.
yeah,
Walker,
I want the
walk
one with the wheels that I could use as a seat.
100%. You got a chair anywhere you need it.
Yeah,
And if you start losing your balance, you got something to brace yourself on.
right, right. And you
Crutches
got some
suck.
handbrakes on it. Got handbrakes.
Crutches are antiquated.
Dude, I'm not good on crutches.
No, nobody
Um,
is. Even when you were young and totally healthy with all your equilibrium, crutches are hard, man.
yeah, no. So I told her, I said, here's the deal. I'm gonna Uber to work and I'm gonna bring a wheelchair and I'm gonna call you when I get here and you're gonna have to come get me out the Uber and wheel me up to my office.
Hey, look, be part of your
That's
annual
right.
annual review
Right. Other task as assigned.
as a sign. If I was you, one, I'd look into a scooter.
Dude, I would like a knee scooter, but it don't work with the knee replacement.
Oh, we just kind of prop your leg up there and
Right, right. You
that
don't have
works
knee
more
to
for
go,
like an ankle. Like you could
right,
just
where you
put
got a
your
big pad on it and you're just scooting around.
do me a favor though. I know you don't normally go there, but whenever you have this done and you're going through the brief because they're gonna make you walk on it the first day.
Dude, that day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good chance you go home that day.
Who knew?
That's the part that worries me more than anything.
Right, right. But so once you in that process, I just want you to go to Walmart and use one of the carts. Honestly. I just and bring the camera and film yourself
All right, you got it.
going up and down using the cart because you'll be one of the few people legitimately who need those things. I was in Walmart the other day and I swear to you, man, it must have been like a family thing. There were three people and I know they all rode there together and they all had a cart, and it's just like, is that a thing? Is that the people just
I don't know. Were they people of size?
size a bowl? I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to question something. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there are times that like, look, you and I are old. We don't look
Yeah.
totally immobile, but there are times when things hurt. I mean, I had a bad, guess it was a bad knee. That's the other funny thing too. And you have so many aches and pains, you just forget which one it was. But it was within the last year or so, and I remember having to get through um, Denver Airport. I had a connection in Denver Airport. By the way, I've said this before. Denver Airport sucks. I don't know. It's some sadist designed that thing. Nothing is close to nothing. It's like I guess people in Colorado like to walk, and they said, "Hey, you know what? Let's give everybody the Denver experience and make them walk about a half mile for a connection." But I remember going through the airport, and dude, I could barely walk. I mean, I was
Yeah,
like
because you're probably pouncing on concrete floors and not a lot of padding there.
trying to lean on my suitcase, and I couldn't really
Hmm.
do that. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, man, am I too too proud to try to find a cart? Like,
There's a part of me that is. I don't know why, but probably because I'm also the person who criticizes everybody else who's using it.
I've been there. I've been there. But so there we go. So hopefully, what's the timeline on this? Do you know?
Um, after week after Easter.
Okay. All right. So
I'm not gonna miss any podcast or anything.
we can do it from the do it from the procedure.
Yeah, that. I'll ask him if I can go live.
Be the highest rated podcast ever.
So,
And if you're asleep, just let me talk to the doctor. He just walk us
okay.
through it.
Yeah, yeah.
I might tell him, hey,
They said they'd give you like a spinal injection, and I'm saying, I'm thinking like an epidural, like when a woman's having a baby. I'm saying,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be awake. And he said, oh no, that just minimizes the pain or whatever. I said, all right. He said, yeah, we'll give you propofol. I said, all right, that's what I wanted to hear.
you don't want to be awake for. You don't want to
No,
hear. You
no.
don't want to hear.
No,
To me, that would be the thing. Like even if I don't see it, I don't feel it. You just don't want to.
you don't want to hear that saw on the bone.
Well, dude, it's just like I had a root canal done. I guess within the last year. I forget exactly how long it was. It was before our trip. I remember that it was like a week or two before our vacation last year. And yeah, even then, you don't really feel anything. But just hearing
the thought, and I got to go to the. I'm going to get a couple fillings replaced this week because then I
Oh,
got to get a crown. Um,
fun, fun, fun. Well, those are
and
cheap. Those are cheap.
oh yeah,
Well, I just realized, man, this podcast has been all about old guys and body parts, man, and
so,
cold, wrapping your pipes.
um, and I can remember last time I had some dental work that way. I'm just laying there, and like you said, you don't feel it, but you can tell from the motion what they're doing. You can tell from the sound. And I'm sitting here thinking, think about something else. Think about something else. Think about something else.
You want me to give you the frissons? I'll give you the frissons. Get ready. This is because I think this was many, many, many years ago, guys. I hear everything's was good. I had to get wisdom tooth pulled, and I'm like other people. I didn't have them all four at the same time.
Hmm.
Um, I two were eventually surgical, where they just put me under.
Impacted. Yeah.
I don't know if they were impacted or whatever, but they just the dentist said I already had braces and stuff, and they basically
Yeah.
said, "Man, don't let these things come in because they're going to mess up your teeth." All right. And the other ones just kind of just went in there and took them out when they were about to come out, like I guess regular dentist.
Yeah.
And I went to Dr. Buzagard. No, not the guy. I think there's a dentist right now who's his son, but the original dentist. I forget his first name, but I remember Dr. Buzagard. And little office and cutoff, man. And I'm sitting in that chair, and he numbs you up. He was good guy. I liked him. Got me all numbed up. I'm in the back room. I guess I'm in the wisdom teeth room. I don't know what they
Yeah.
case. So anyway, he comes in there and he starts, doing what they do. And I don't know if he has to make a little incision to, yeah, dude, you don't, what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm getting the free songs already.
You're kind of numb, but you're awake, right? So he starts, and you can feel your jaw.
My behind is so tight right now.
You can feel, and he's doing what he's doing. And man, my hand to God, he says, "All right, hang on. I need a bigger plier." I don't know if he called it a plier or need a bigger whatever. And the dude left the room, and we get a bigger tool to come on in. And I can tell you, man, there's something like, I don't know what mental torture is, and unintended, but when you've got somebody like, what I'm saying, like whenever a medical procedure is being done, you want to think, man, this is going perfectly. This is going according to plan. What you don't want is, and it wasn't his fault. It was like whatever it was, apparently.
Right. He
Apparently,
could have brought the bigger one in, and I told you.
He was being full disclosure. I gotta go get a bigger set of pliers to get this.
My bad's in my truck.
And I want to say I heard it crack. I don't know if the tooth.
Dude, because I had a tooth pulled, and it was, what a strap wrench is?
Yeah.
Where it's basically like a piece of metal, a piece of fabric that you just, like you ratchet it down. And that's, in my mind, that's what they use. And you just hear.
All right. For those of you that are still hanging in there with the frissons, but hey, look, modern medicine. And let me bring it. Let me just point out. And I remember I learned this decades ago, and it's always stayed with me when they talk about the things, modern medicine, and how, we live longer and everything. And they basically say modern dentistry has, as much as anything, extended lifespans in America or around the world, because people used to die from malnutrition a lot of times, oftentimes, because you just can't eat. When you lose your teeth, right? And infections and whatever.
Well, the reason I went to the dentist last week or whatever to get the initial exam that I'm going back for to do the other stuff is because before you do like the knee surgery, I had to go to the dentist in case there was any infection. They said, you're always prone to dental infection, and you can't have the surgery until the infection's cleared up.
Right. Yeah. So again, we started off saying kudos to the firemen out there. Kudos to the dentist. Even though we can't stand going to the dentist, dentists are as responsible as anybody for extending the average lifespan in America. Now, all right. How much time we got left in the podcast? Well, we got a little time.
We got a little bit.
We're about 2/3 done.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Every week gets more and more absurd. All right. This past week, our guy, the Donald, I think Greg Gutfeld said he was like an orange tornado going through a trailer park. Showed up in Davos for WEF, the what Economic Forum West. What is it? Gosh darn it!
That's a economic something or whatever. I don't even know.
It's a bunch. It's a lot of it's a bunch of chews. Okay, I mean it's the elite and the whatever and the leaders of various countries, and you know, Donald's got disdain for all of them. He's like, you know what? I'm surprised he goes. I guess as the president of the United States, you kind of have to go.
But I think he goes for the after effect, or just to be able to, to be Donald Trump in that room.
Well, and I can tell you something that what's amazing to me. We were joking about Greenland before, and our guy, apparently Jeff Landry was uninvited from the dog race.
He was, and I read this weekend that he's heard that there's the framework in place, but nobody's called him and told him congratulations, good job, it's done.
I feel bad for Jeff on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Jeff, you kind of got tagged and you took a little bit of heat for being the guy, and then they don't really involve you in it. It's
right. You were never getting the glory off of that deal, no matter what.
That was never. No, I always said from the start that it seemed to me like the kind of situation that all you get is the blame.
Yeah.
If things go poorly after you go there, it's not
right.
It's not like Jeff. You can be a representative, but he ain't going to be making any of the decisions.
Right.
But so the whole thing with Greenland, right? And again, like most folks, nobody gives a second thought to, Green? It's the ironic. We should say the ironically named Greenland, right? It's because it's a frozen tundra, most of it anyway. But it's green, green.
Yeah.
Greenland. But it is a strategically located,
right. So the geography of it, or where it's at, is more important than anything.
And it's becoming over time, even though they didn't really want to talk about this. I mean, and it's for trade and trade routes, and as Antarctica and that area, 100 years ago, we couldn't get our heads around, all of that and being able to work in those kind of environments. And oh wait, there's resources and and the fact that it's weird things like Russia and China, but they have built far more icebreakers than I think. I want to say, and I could be wrong. Again, I'm gonna say this. I'm not lying. I might be wrong. That something about Russia has built more in the last few years, more icebreakers than we even have in total.
Wow.
Okay. Well, so what do you think people are doing? Both Russia and China, they're preparing,
right,
for that. If either of them, and I don't really know Russia, more of China. China's the one that you would get control of Greenland, take it.
Right, it's a strategic stronghold.
We got a problem. So now people don't want to hear, and here's the deal about problems: you got to solve them, or they get worse, or you go back. So Trump says, and he did that's the art of the deal, man. I mean, read the book. I read it a long, long time ago when it first came out.
God, I had it. Yeah, and I remember in the early 90s, I had it.
Sure. And then it's been referenced all these times since then. But read this is how the guy operates, man. I'm gonna come in flaming. I'm gonna threaten and throw like
right. He comes in with a flamethrower.
This is how bad it's gonna be. We may decide just to take it. I don't want to do it, but we may. And here's what we're gonna do too. If you get in the way, we're gonna slap a tariff on you.
Right.
And if that's still thing, we're gonna double that tariff, and everybody catches their hair gets on fire.
Yeah, NATO, we'll drop out of here. Good luck without us.
That's going to happen eventually. It has to. It's that's another topic. That's going to happen eventually. So what happens? Oh my gosh, he's the boogeyman. Everybody goes crazy, and we're gonna. And then they come around to cutting a deal for basically what he wanted from the start.
Yeah.
And everybody gets to save face. They get to pretend that, well, we solidified and we backed down the bully and we did whatever. No, he did exactly
right. And that's the whole thing is he doesn't mind looking like the bad guy going in, and they're all terrified.
He enjoys it there. He enjoys it there.
Right. They're terrified of looking weak to the bad guy.
Oh,
so they go in and put up some fake front.
Just the stuff on the windmills is priceless. It was priceless. you know. And I got news for you, man. Everybody can argue about that. I've been around the country a bit. Man, it makes me ill. Some of these places you go to, you just see these windmills, just these ugly.
They're loud. They're environmentally hazardous more so than anything else,
And yo,
probably.
they kill birds. I don't care. You talk to anybody who has those things anywhere around. They kill wildlife. They affect different things. They're not.
But
They're
the amount of
non-biodegradable.
petroleum it takes to build that thing and keep it moving.
Unbelievable. Well, the landman scene when Billy
Uh-huh.
Bob Thornton
Yeah.
talks about it's perfect. That's exactly about how what a farce it is, right? The other amazing thing too is while we're just calling out hypocrites, it's amazing that some of the some we'll go unnamed, but some of the people who are billionaires, and they used to say billionaires, and you only knew about one or two of them.
Hmm.
Remember back in the day when it was just Warren Buffett and Bill Gates.
Yeah.
So whenever you talked about billionaires, that's all you thought about. Now they're like 1,000 of them. There's a bunch of
Right. 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 And you got to have a
okay,
lot of billions to be up in the top.
okay, but get this. So now that some of these billionaires, whose billions have come through technology and have come through right, and have been some of the biggest pushers of this green stuff forever. Oh, we gotta heaven forbid, we got a nuclear. Oh man, unlimited clean energy. No, we can't have that. And fossil, blah blah blah, fossil fuels. So they've been pushing all the windmill crap and the solar crap, all made in China. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
But that's what they've been pushing. But now that AI is the thing, artificial intelligence, and here's the deal about AI, y'all. It is a massive consumer of energy. You can't all these servers, all these
Yeah.
right? And the only way
Well,
to
that's what I never did understand. Still, like the whole Bitcoin thing, and they called it where you needed a server farm basically
correct,
to do the Bitcoin stuff. If you were, I guess, a releaser or a creator of Bitcoin,
right?
it's there. But there's all kind of big chunks of land in Louisiana that's getting to be, yeah, that's going to be used by Meta and others, all to generate energy for AI.
So all of a sudden, these same people who have been selling you for 20, 30 years, we got to get rid of all. Now it's not so bad. Now, you know what? Petroleum is and coal and nuclear, they may not be the existential threat that we've crippled so many economies by by
Yeah.
by forcing. Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that now that they need reliable, affordable energy, hey, our bad, our bad. Why shouldn't we all have a mini nuclear plant in our backyard? And
Yeah, they're not locating any of those things next to windmills.
that they are not. That they are not. Well, that's just that and solar. I see that all over the place. We got, it's weird. Even in my neighborhood, man. No, I got an older neighborhood, so it's not so much. I get some people that maybe retrofitted, but some of the new neighborhoods going up because they give all these tax breaks and all these
Hmm.
and you see so many of these houses with these solar panels on them, ugly as all get out, but that's here nor there. But my thing is that stuff don't last forever, right? That stuff's
And
gonna
that was some of the big issues with it early on, where they were you getting all these tax breaks to start a solar company or to get solar, and then when it wasn't selling, all these companies are going under. So your solar breaks. What are you doing? Who are you finding?
nothing, nobody. And then
And
and
I
then hey,
also think if you got to do some work on the roof or whatever, you pretty much got to take that whole thing down.
yeah, and then how do you dispose it? It has all kinds of toxic, toxic materials in these things. Y'all, a
Yeah, you
battery.
think a Tesla car battery's bad?
Whew. So, all right. That's what I'm saying, guys. We got a lot of problems out there that need fixing. And the amazing thing is people get really upset when people start trying to fix them, right? And they're more worried about, well, we talked about this earlier. What's going on in Minnesota? It continues to get,
Hmm.
I thought it would end, I guess I thought. Apparently not.
I honestly don't get it on either side. I mean, and I just the sense of and look, the guy got tragically killed over the weekend.
Okay, this is the second guy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't wish death on hardly anybody. Um,
Like the hardly.
the
I got you. Yeah.
the But if you're putting yourself in harm's way, what level of responsibility do you claim? Everybody say
Yeah.
he was trying to help somebody. He was trying to help somebody. It's a nice person. He's a kind person helping somebody. So if I go help somebody break out of jail, am I just a nice person trying to help this guy? Or am I, they're not protesting. They
Right.
are engaging with, yeah, stand there on the sidewalk, hold your sign. Stand all you want. They're tracking the guys. They're is putting themselves in the way.
Stuff I'm seeing today. And so this is on top of the week before was the woman who was shot.
Yeah,
And here's the deal: we're at a point now that you can't even watch the same video and agree on what you're looking at,
yeah,
right? Because that's the other thing too. Everybody comes with their own story about this and that, and yeah. Here's my thing with the guy that was shot. Those who don't know, we're talking about. There was a protester, and I'm being nice saying protester. I mean,
right,
because when you put yourself in the middle of there's protesting and then there's interference, right?
right. They're interfering. They're causing the chaos.
Okay.
When you
So
cause chaos, chaotic things happen.
if you're going to put yourself in that situation and you're going to be antagonizing federal law enforcement,
Right.
they've demonized what ICE is, but it's federal law enforcement. And these are people are literally going in and they're trying. And by the way, here's the deal. And this is what I mean. This is an argument that I don't get. From one side is they're saying, hey, if the local officials would just you've got convicted criminals.
Right.
Call us when you got them in jail. We'll come get them and get them out. Don't put
They don't
them
want to do
on
it.
the street, right? So that's the yin and that's what's going on there. But if you're going to show up to do this, bro, you can't be carrying a gun.
Well, that's the whole thing, and that's the most absurd argument to me. People will now say, "Oh, look, the way I see that video, they disarmed him."
One
Well, the whole problem is why did he have the gun?
and one, not just a gun, one in the
Right.
chamber ready to go. Listen,
Right.
I can't. I've been.
And multiple clips.
Yes, I've been known to carry. I have clips or clips. I mean, but I mean, I have been known to carry on occasion. I never would have one in the chamber ready to go, just for various reasons. And so it's like if you need it, first of all, it's about a second and a half. It just takes you to rack it. That's fine, but
Right.
the last thing you want is say you get jumped or say something happens or say whatever or you're scared and you reach in, you shoot yourself. Right? You got to be ready. So, and boy, I tell you
Right.
what,
That guy went ready to fire.
he had a so here's the deal. Again, people get so mad if just saying this. You know as well as I do, dude. I don't care what you think about cops. I don't care what you think about military. I don't care whatever. If you're in a situation and they have authority, legal authority, and
Right.
they tell you to do something, they don't have to ask you nice. They don't have to do what they just have to say. Hey, you need to back that. Guess what you do? You that's how society works. What's happening in Minnesota is you've got, unfortunately, the governor and everybody else. They're stoking it.
Oh yeah.
They're
This is our story. Remember Anne Frank's novel or whatever, Anne Frank's diary. This is our story.
so that's the so a big part of that. So they are trying to make bad things happen. And here's what can't happen, y'all. You can't then have the federal government say, all right, and then back off. Because once
Right.
you do,
You're done.
you're done. This is the playbook. They're running the playbook. And so,
It's like punishing your kid for something they did bad and then saying, all right, never mind.
and by the way,
I'll
there
go
have been
angry.
many presidents that have declared the Insurrection Act, which is basically they have the authority
Right. You go, right.
to say, okay, we're going to take the military, whether it's the National Guard or whether it's literally the military, and we're going to come in and we're for the safety of both citizens and the safety of the country. We are going to eliminate this threat. That has been done many times. They're trying to get that happen because they're basically poking to try to get that to happen so they can say, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, it just so happens to be like we found billions and billions and billions of dollars.
Well,
of
yeah, 'cause
fraud.
everybody talk, I still like the people saying, "No, this is just a deflection from the Epstein stuff." It's like, what?
What?
How about this is you want to call it a deflection? How about what's going on otherwise in Minnesota?
So anyway, so good luck there. I feel for people. I feel really bad. I mean, there's so many, it literally ends up being it's a very small percentage of people, and so many of the people that are doing this are outsiders. They're not from Minnesota. They're not there. They're in there. They're organized there. But here's what's also happening, y'all. There are a lot of people out there that have been they're tough on video, and they've been programmed that they think you can go out and put yourself in the way, and you can disrespect law enforcement, and you can be vile,
Yeah.
and they get away with it until they don't.
Right.
And
you
even
get
these people
clicks.
that, yeah, you think you're armed, you think you got this. Oh my gosh. I mean, if and it also makes you realize, I guess, God bless America, because guess what happened? And you do this in China. Try it.
Well, we've had Americans wrongly imprisoned in other countries, uh, probably all through time. How many of their local citizens are going out fighting law enforcement on somebody else's behalf?
Because it ain't a fight.
Right.
Most of
Yeah.
these countries, yeah, no other countries. Well, I say that. I bet you Europe's that way. But tell the police, just take it. Don't. All right. So why do you want that job? You don't have my back. All right. So anyway, it continues, y'all. We didn't even talk about the NFL this weekend. The
That was the Super Bowl yesterday.
Well,
Yeah, I
championship
think it
games.
was.
That Denver game was just horrible to watch.
Dude,
That,
I know.
that was just an unentertaining game. Those of you that didn't see it, you had the backup quarterback for Denver who looked good for like about 5 minutes. Denver was really cold to start off with, and then a freaking blizzard
Dude,
came in during halftime. By the end of the game, Juan,
you
I
couldn't
didn't
even see the field.
I didn't even care who won. I just wanted the game to end. It was just like, what the it wasn't even football. It was just
No. Yeah, couldn't throw the ball, couldn't run the ball, couldn't kick the ball.
it was terrible. It was terrible. But by the way, those of you that hate on Sean Payton, you can kind of blame him for that because he tried to be the hero. He should have kicked the field goal. They were up 7-0. You could have been up
Dude.
10-0 with a blizzard blowing in,
Yeah.
and they decided to go for it, didn't get it.
Nailed it.
And by the way, their backup quarterback ended up having that horrendous play where he made a bad decision. But I saw somebody today point out that it wasn't necessarily he made the terrible decision at the end, but the running back totally screwed up. He had called an audible, and the right audible, and that running back was supposed to head to the line and just it would have gone. They'd have got the first down in probably 20
Yeah.
yards if that running back would have gone where he was supposed
In
to.
the right place.
Instead, he ran backwards, and again,
Yeah.
quarterback should have just ate it. He didn't, and then we get it. And then the evening game was Seattle and L.A. That was a pretty good game, actually.
Yeah, that was a good game.
I got no dog in the hunt.
Well, that was the whole thing. I didn't have I didn't really care about who won. And yeah, so my wife had gone to that game, said, "Who are you pulling for?" And I said, "Well, I like the Rams, but I want to pull against the Rams because of I'm still bitter about the no call."
Man, yeah.
And then she said something about, "Oh, well, I like Seattle's uniforms." And she knows football, so she's not just pulling for a team. But so she decided she was pulling for Seattle because she liked the uniforms.
And my wife
In my
actually
mind,
loved
I'm
it.
thinking, well, I'd rather the Rams uniforms.
Yeah, that's my wife. My wife said, "I love those Ram uniforms." I'm like, well, there you go.
Then I said, look at us. We're sitting here like two gay old men watching football, pulling for teams based on uniform colors.
I told you that story. The one time I was at Churchill Downs with some friends from a bank, and we were all there, and there's probably like 10 of us, and we were reading. I never gambled on, and it wasn't much gambling. I mean, there was very
Yeah.
little money involved, but I never bet on horse races in my life. So I'm reading the records. I'm doing all this other. Me and some other folks, and we are just, we're fools, just trying to figure out, make wise bets. And one of the young ladies in the group literally bet on the colors of the jockeys, what do they call them, silks.
Yeah.
If it was a call, oh, this one's pink and brown, I like that. That's all she did was she based her bets on what color she liked. She won more than anybody else. So there you go.
Yeah, it's no science in it. So
There you go. Well, man, you know what? I think the buffet is out in front of them, right? We covered a lot.
Covered a lot.
covered-
Covered a little. Covered, old men,
Medical,
money.
some medical, gave some frissons, and we shouted at some cloud. All that, We did what we can do, y'all. We did what we could do, and hopefully, if you're watching this, you got power. So hey, you're doing better than a lot of folks. We're going to push the button, get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape in the sky. We hope it did. Y'all, if you want to reach us, it ain't that hard to do. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And, of course,
and right here, wherever here may be.
right where you are. And hang in there. We're going to have a fundraiser coming up pretty soon to buy Juan a new knee.
That's right.
You ought to try to get like an endorsement or something, man. I mean, just, talk to Canes. See if Canes will see.
NIL.
Yeah. NIL on that. Hey, we tell you every week, y'all, it's not a hint, suggestion, or even a little subtle implication. It is a freaking mandate.
It's a freaking mandate, bro. You got to do it.
Get out there and live your best life. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. Those of you that, some of you are digging out from under a bunch of ice right now. Hey, it's going to warm up, y'all. It's going to warm up. Some of you had a great day today. Rinse, repeat tomorrow. Go for it. Every day. Not every day works out, but understand.
Yeah, some don't, some do. But, again, without ugly people, there'd be no pretty people.
Without ugly people. That's a Juanism.
It's all about perspective.
All about perspective. All right, we're gonna get on out of here, y'all, and get back together next week, and compare notes and see what we can all do. Until then, hey man, hope the knee.
I got time, bro. I got time.
All right. You can still throw a kick.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm not gonna try.
All right. We'll see you guys next week, man. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So yeah, we talked to just person who handles whatever investments and stuff this week, and just trying to figure all that stuff out. And so I don't like doing that because it makes me feel like a failure.
It's never enough, man. It's never enough.
Right. So that's my whole thing. But then I started asking the girl. I said, so who's better off if the other one dies between the two of us? Who gets the better deal?
That's a fair.
And so come to find out, I thought Joey would be better off, but I'm better off.
You're better off if she goes first.
Just because the security and stuff like that. I have way more life insurance than she does, but I guess the long-term gain of it. But then yesterday we were talking, I don't know, she's talking about it. And so she has a teacher's retirement, which is basically a pension that you get as long as you live.
As long as you live.
And then she said, well, if I die before you, do you want to keep getting my pension? And I said, well, what the hell? Why would that answer be no?
I know.
I said, what's the downside of that? And she said, well, I think I'd get a little less each month if you wanted to get it after. And I said, well, how much less? $15.
$15?
I said, well, hell yeah. I'll sign those papers today.
Honey, don't give me reasons to kill you.
It's over. Go home.